White House, and the first time, she actually said no to the president, and then she said yes, and she was a very, if you look at her, she's a very proper woman, if you picture her back in the 60s, she probably wore gloves on her hands, the way fancy women do when they're going to church. But one of his aides, they were at the White House pool, and Kennedy asked this girl. He said, I think one of his advisors' names was Powers, and he happened to say to her that he's very tense. Why don't you go relieve his tension? And she knew exactly what he meant. But anyway, this is supposed to be our religious show. We're not supposed to talk politics, really.
So, that's right. It's Friday night.
That's right.
Yeah. Did you go to shul tonight?
Oh, yeah. I ran. It was standing room only. They gave me a standing ovation when I got there.
Really? And it wasn't even the High Holy Days.
Wait a second. This is.
I'm a bad Jew. I don't even think I went in.
I've got a religious story.
Been a while.
Remember how we used to walk up to the Jewish Center and have like a little club there? Remember?
Oh yeah.
We started at the Jewish Center. That was strange for us to do.
Yeah, at least we made an attempt.
Yeah. I wonder what happened to that tie.
Don't know.
There was a story today, I read in the news. This woman, during church services in, I believe it was in Germany, jumped up to the altar, took off her top, completely naked, and she had written on her body, "I am God."
Let me worship you.
She's a 21-year-old woman, and she got arrested right away for indecent...
inciting a riot.
They said something more with the choir boys who were young kids.
Well, listen, I have news for you. I've always said that God might very well turn out to be a woman.
Hey, you never know.
What can I say?
Well, everyone's telling me that, Ernie's in a better place, and I'll see him one day, and someone else tells you this, and someone else tells you that, and you'll see him in spirit and all this. It's like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, but you have to understand, Carol, they all mean well, I mean, what can you possibly say?
I'm sorry.
You say, I'm sorry to hear it. No, you're right.
Other than I'm sorry, people probably exhaust every cliche under the sun. If somebody has suffered terribly, with cancer or some sort of hideous disease and they were in a lot of pain, well, they're not in pain anymore. I was chatting with a friend on Facebook. Did you happen to catch on one of the cable networks, Heaven is for Real?
Yeah.
You did see it?
Yeah.
It's truly...
I read the book, too.
What?
She read the book.
And I read the book.
Oh, wait, and I also mentioned that, we were talking about it, too. It's truly amazing, what this child experienced. And...
Well, I sort of believe in it, but, then you get the ones who are against it and say, well, it's the medicine and all this other stuff, and who knows?
But that kid wasn't on any medicine. He just... he was in a coma. He was comatose. He was...
Well, the first heart attack that Ernie had, he told me that he went up with God or something, and whoever, I forget what he said, whether it was God or somebody else, and they said, no, Ernie, you got to go back, it's not your time. Came back, and then he was okay. And then Ernie knew he was going to die, and he said he saw angel of death.
Really?
They're telling you this. Oh, yeah.
That's creepy.
It is, yeah.
I mean, you know, when I had my messed up surgery 11 years ago, I mean, that's like that's the first question everybody asked me, because I told them I was, you know, unconscious for like a day and a half or about at least 24 hours. And I knew it wasn't my time because I didn't see a white light, and I didn't see my mother, okay, at the end of the tunnel, or my grandparents or anything like that. So I knew I was coming back, you know.
When you were asleep, knew you were coming back?
What?
When did you know you were coming back? While you were out, or after when you woke up?
Well, it's easy to say when I woke up, I knew I was coming back. But,
so you were out and you said in your mind, I'm not dead?
Well, thinking about it in hindsight, I knew I was going to come back because I didn't see any of the cliched things. I didn't see a white light. I didn't see any...
Well, then you might know that it could be not true. That's what these people say.
No, for them it might very well be true. I mean, the kid in the book that you read and the movie that I saw said that he saw his great-grandfather. And in fact, one of the things I've been saying for years is, you know, it doesn't make a difference at what age you die. You know, a 96-year-old person or a 100-year-old person is not going to be 100 in heaven. You know, you're a much younger person.
So how do you know who's meeting you if it's not the same person you know?
Because I would have, you know, at that point, I saw pictures of my mother when she was younger. Okay, I might have expected to see my mother as she was, as I remember her, but she might have been.
They say that you don't see the person as the spirit or something, or the soul. You don't see the natural body.
You probably see whatever you remember them to look like.
You probably see what you want to see. You know, when you think about it.
Okay, so here's the question. You know, okay, so let's say you pass on and you can see your mother, or you see your father. How many people are there waiting on you? Now, your parents loved you very much, and they passed on. Why wouldn't both of them be there? And your grandparents loved you. Why wouldn't they be there? And if you had a brother, how many people are going to be?
At the time this happened to me, only my mother was dead. And my grandparents...
No, I'm just talking in general. If someone passes, how many people are supposed to, you know, is waiting there? Or the people you loved, or just your mother, or just your father?
Well, one could say the whole mishpacha, you know, the whole kit and caboodle, you know. I don't know.
I mean, you know, you talk about the whole kit and caboodle, you're looking back pretty far.
Well, I mean, I certainly would hope my parents would be there to greet me, you know. I know it's my usual joke, you know, because I'm really the only one that goes to the cemetery down here, you know, and I have my...
Which cemetery are you parenting? Which cemetery is your parenting?
New Montefiore out in...
So is my parents.
Yeah. And
on Springfield and Francis Lewis or something?
No, that's Old Montefiore. My grandparents, my father's parents are buried there.
That's funny.
Yeah.
New Montefiore is in Lindenhurst, I think.
What?
Lindenhurst, I think.
What?
It's New Montefiore.
No, it's not. It's Pine Lawn. It's right there.
Pine Lawn is a cemetery. That's not the name of the neighborhood.
Pine Lawn is not Montefiore.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
There's a cemetery beyond it, but my parents are in New Montefiore. There's New Montefiore, and then there's another cemetery after that. And then you have the National Cemetery, if you go further down, where a lot of the veterans are buried.
Oh, that's where Ernie was buried, in the State Veterans Cemetery.
Yeah.
He had full military honors, and it was 21-gun salute. He had the Patriot Guard standing flag line.
Well, he was a 20-year man, you know,
Yeah.
and well deserved. You know, that was well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
Did
I wonder if he...
Did they give
they
him the
what?
flag, or they gave it to his son?
gave it to me.
Okay. Yeah.
The wife always comes.
No, you're right. You're right.
I got a plaque from the Patriot Guard. I got the flag from the Army. U.S. Army was there, and the state police were there because Ernie was a state trooper. And I got a plaque from the Policemen's Defenders Motorcycle Group, and they gave me 3 rounds of the gun they shot. You know, what do you call them?
Bullets?
Yeah, bullets. You know, the shells.
Yeah, the shells. Yeah, the casings.
Yeah, the casing.
Also, this is just, I just looked at this. Read that. Can you see what that says?
Huh. Yeah, but that's the Washington Times.
But they're talking about they're reading the list of the...
No, I know.
No, from Time. They had it also the Time I saw it. Because they are...
So Mark, if you don't agree with the Pope, who do you want? Who would you think would be the perfect person?
Actually, I do think the Pope stands a good chance. He'd get my vote.
Well, but like I said, what did he do? So why didn't he get it last year? What did he do this year that makes him more outstanding than anybody else?
Did he?
No, I thought he was voted last year, Person of the Year, I believe.
I don't know. Was he? Well, I wouldn't give it to him 2 years in a row. You know.
Yeah, I believe he was.
I don't know. I don't think there's anyone around that really... I can't imagine. I have no idea who it could be.
But you're looking for a good person. They're not talking about good people. You know, there could be
I think
bad
Carol
persons
Hageman
too.
should be Person of the Year this year.
I think so, too. I think so, too.
See that? It's unanimous. They have your vote.
Okay, you write... Put me on... You go on the red phone and you contact the Time magazine.
But how do we vote? That's what I want to know.
Well, you see, you're not...
It's not up to the public. The editorial staff just sit down in a room and they say, what do you think? They go, what do you think? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, this is it.
Okay, here we go. See, that's
Basically, that's what I think, that it's done. It's done by the editorial staff.
2013.
You're right, 2013, the Pope was... Oh, forget about it. And I don't want him to go 2 years in a row. He doesn't deserve it 2 years in a row. We got to pick somebody else.
Obama was the year before. I don't understand what the protesters.
Because it doesn't have to be
2011.
one person per
no.
se. It could be a group of people. Like Felix, somebody can vote for the rebellious Rev in the dock.
Mark Zuckerberg was 2010. Oh, you know, Bernanke was...
He would be a good one because he donated so much money to something recently, millions and millions.
2008, Barack Obama again. Boy.
Is Bill Gates up there at all? I mean, he and his wife have contributed billions.
Yeah.
George Bush was there. See,
Might have been a typo.
Don't let anybody
Yeah, Rudy
in.
Giuliani was in 2001. Gee, I wonder why.
George W.
Yeah, I know.
Twice.
Both times in an election year.
But, you know, the old Bush and Clinton should do it as a team. They should both be men of the year because of that, what they did together, doing whatever they did.
Bill Clinton was Man of the Year.
Yeah, well, you know, he's more or less an indirect member of their family. Clinton.
Huh?
What do you mean indirect family? Of the Bush family?
Yeah. Not by
How do you think of
blood.
that?
You had sex with somebody?
No. It's like George Bush